Well, no, look. I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial.
This video is about even when you win, sometimes you're losing in communications. Even when you win and you have to switch the topic off of yourself, particularly in this case with regard to Fani Willis. The very fact that we're even talking about this, that we're talking about Fani Willis's relationship, that we're talking about some controversy related to whether or not she will continue to prosecute this case, it's a loser. The more we talk about this, the more she's losing from a communication standpoint. The fact that this took 2 months to figure out, and now there's a judge's decision by Judge Scott McAfee, it is a delay in the case. It's a delay in what everybody should be paying attention to, because this is not about the prosecution's case. It's about the prosecutor. Once Fani Willis became the story, it was a loser. Once you're explaining, you're losing. Once you're on trial, being asked questions, you're losing. All of those things are true. And what she's got to do is turn this situation back to what it was about, which was a prosecution. The more she talks about this, the more the media is talking about her, the more the media is talking about her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or whatever he is, Nathan Wade, the more she's losing. She's got to turn this conversation back to what it was about. And the opposition is completely aware of that. Okay, you can absolutely best believe, I know they need a certificate from the judge to do it, that the opposition is going to appeal the decision. Of course they are, because their game is a game of delay and distraction. They will keep doing that because it is working. The media is completely focused on Fani Willis. And what did she do? And where did they go on vacation? And what's going on? And what did the text messages say? Everybody is gone for that okie doke, and they will continue to go for that okie doke because that's what the media does. The media always focuses on the thing that is least important, that gets them the most traffic. So that's what you're seeing, and you'll continue to see it. Fani Willis has to figure out a way, from a communication standpoint, to turn this conversation back in the direction of the people she is prosecuting and turn this conversation back to her prosecution. And of course, the smarter move, by the way, would have been to get rid of Nathan Wade as quickly as possible when this first came up, because you knew this was the inevitable way that this thing was going to end. Either she was going to be taken off as the prosecutor, or this decision, which actually I think is a fair decision by Scott McAfee, it's Judge McAfee. It's kind of like, take him off or don't continue, right? You withdraw, you take this person off the case. I'm not sure why that couldn't have been done by the district attorney, Ms. Willis, 2 months ago. I mean, why are we still sitting here talking about this? Because this is what distraction communications is about. This is what the look at the squirrel strategy is. It works like a charm. You bring something else up, you get the media to pay attention to it. They always pay attention to it. It's like catnip. They will go for it every single time. And you sit and you let it burn. And it's been burning now for some weeks. And actually, she put some gasoline on the fire the way that she testified, even though I thoroughly enjoyed the vim and vigor. And I think that it did have, she was trying really to drill these people who were questioning her, because she's basically trying to say, look, I shouldn't be sitting here having to answer these questions. Well, that may be true. But when you testify in such a way, all of that footage, of course, is going to be used to blow this thing up even further, which is exactly what happened.
I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial. Lied in this. Let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth, Judge. And it is a lie. It is a lie.
Ms. Willis? Mr. Sano, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes.
You can see in some of what the judge said in his filing that, hey, I'm not too thrilled about the testimony that you gave to the court, Ms. Willis. Like that's sort of problematic, because it sort of lends itself to being part of the distraction. It's hard to resist, though. And I think that I'm always a fan of fight back as hard as you can, particularly when you're in the right. And in fact, only when you're in the right. If you're in the wrong, you're never going to win. If you're lying, you're never going to win. Lying is always a huge mistake. If you're wrong, you're wrong, and it's going to come out. The truth has a certain power, the truth has a certain force, and the truth will always come out at some point eventually, and you will not outrun the truth. Simple as that. I think that she has the truth on her side, that this is no big deal, but still you have to be real about what the communications considerations are. because you know that once the media starts spinning in the cycle of talking about your relationships and your trips to Tennessee or whatever the heck they want to talk about, it's hard to get them off of that. And there were some things that Fani Willis brought up that I thought were actually extremely relevant that the media completely ignored. One was the death threats. You know, she was talking about death threats and the need for security and certain adjustments that the office had to make because of the death threats. Why that was glossed over like it was a big nothing, I have absolutely no idea, but it was. The media would rather talk about salacious details about somebody's relationship. The media will rather talk about whatever the heck it is that is about sex or something that is distracting, that viewers will likely click a link on, than talk about things of more gravity and importance, such as the case that Fani Willis is prosecuting, and things like death threats against judges and prosecutors. I mean, who ever heard of such a thing? As if this is some sort of mafia case. And if it was a mafia case, that would be a huge thing to be talking about. No, the media is like, you're getting death threats, no big deal. Because the salaciousness part of this case has got the full attention of the press. It's a shame, but it's true. And it is the way it's been for a long time. It's worse now because we have more vehicles of media to make it worse. So it's even crazier than typical, just not your one day paper or your paper that has a morning edition and an evening edition where you hear about the same salacious thing. It's constant 24/7. There are no news cycles. News cycles do not exist. This communications age is 24/7. It never ends. And it is upon us all the time. So if you're the person who, of course, is in the barrel who's being focused on, it's very difficult to navigate that. Okay. So, yeah, she came out aggressive, which I think was a good idea. But the distraction of this thing continues. And you can bet, watch what happens next. The other side will attempt to put another part of a distraction or a piece of distraction onto the end of the decision today by Judge McAfee. That's what they'll do. They'll keep doing it. Their whole game is delay and distract, delay and distract, delay and distract. That's been the case the whole time. And that's what they do with all their cases, not just the Atlanta case, not just the Georgia case, the New York case. I mean, they'll do this because it works. And we have a press corps that is not equipped for the speed of it and can't really deal with the nuance of it. So there it is. Yes, Fani Willis won today, but she also sort of lost. And the question is, will she keep losing? What type of strategy will they employ to make sure she doesn't keep losing? What is she going to say in reaction to what Judge McAfee has said? While everybody analyzes the legal stuff, it is the communication stuff that matters. It is the big picture. It is whether or not this looks messy. Whether or not this is a distraction. Will the Senate in Georgia investigate her? It's those things, those distractions. So we'll see what happens next. Good luck. See you soon.